So knowing how to create a LinkedIn ad is just the tip of the iceberg. To start generating serious results with your LinkedIn ads, you need to make your audience feel something. You need to make your audience want to do something. And that's why in this video, I'm going to share with you my proven tactics that are designed to drive clicks to your LinkedIn ads. Now make sure you watch until the very end, because the final tip is something so simple that I just wish I knew when I first started out with LinkedIn ads. It's something that not only drives clicks on your LinkedIn ads, but it's something that also drives return on investment. So make sure you stick around to watch out for that tip. So first things first, you need to stop the scroll with a statement image. 90% of the information our brain processes is visual. So the most important part of your ad is, you guessed it, the image. Much like any other social media platform, LinkedIn is a crowded place. Your ad needs to stand out from hundreds, if not thousands of other pieces of content. It's competing with job updates. It's competing with updates from people's friends and their colleagues. So ultimately, your ad needs to be that thing that's going to catch their eye and stop them scrolling in this crowded place that is the LinkedIn feed. Now, the best way you can do that is make your ad stand out. And there's a few different ways that you can make your ad stand out. The first way is relevancy. And the way we do that is by making sure our ad is as relevant to that target audience as possible. If you see something that's super relevant to you and something that's of interest right now, you're going to be far more likely to stop and consume that content. So let's take, for example, you're promoting an e-commerce white paper. You're going to target your ad to people that work in e-commerce or people that have an interest in e-commerce. Now with your ad, you need to make that relevant as well. So you can do that by calling out a key stat from the white paper that you think is really of interest to your audience, put that front and center in that image, or just promote some kind of USP from that white paper. And again, put that really bold in that image and make people see that statement and stop scrolling. Another way you can make your ad stand out is by making it look different. Now, when you're doing LinkedIn ads or any other ad for that kind of matter, it can be so tempting to just use the same old stock imagery. You might be promoting some sort of service where that image of people in the office looks really relevant. But the reality is, people have probably seen that piece of stock imagery and similar things thousands, if not tens of thousands of times. Most stock imagery is boring, it's dull, and it doesn't stand out. So use this opportunity to steer away from that stock imagery, partner with a good photographer, a good graphic designer, and come up with something creative. It doesn't have to be groundbreaking, but just something that looks a bit different than what you usually see. Finally, use contrasting, bold colors that are really going to make your ad stand out. Take a look at this example from Kevin Gibbons. He's used this bright yellow background with bold black text. It really stands out from that black background on LinkedIn. So just by choosing the appropriate colors, he's made his ad stand out. Now, one top tip for you is LinkedIn has a dark display mode and a light display mode. So create a mock-up of your ad on both of these backgrounds and see how it stands out. If it stands out on both of these different backgrounds, you're onto a winner. Next up, target people that will care. If you want your audience to take action, you need to know what their problems are and what they aspire to. Ultimately, you might have the perfect ad, but if the messaging is wrong for that target audience, it's not going to do well. It's not going to drive those clicks that we're looking for. So what I like to do is create a messaging matrix. These are great for keeping your content focused on the customer journey. Let's say, for example, you're promoting a social media software. You need to think about who is involved in that decision-making process and what matters to them. So using this example, we've got a head of marketing and a marketing executive and ultimately a head of finance that we think are going to be involved in this decision. The marketing executive is going to use the software day in and day out. So they care about things like the quality of the data and the ease of use of the software. However, the head of marketing, they're not going to be using that software much, but what they're going to care about is the quality of the data, but also how much does this tool cost in comparison to other tools on the market, because they're in control of the marketing budget. Finally, the head of finance might be involved as well. They're not using the software at all. They don't really care about how easy it is to use, the quality of the data. All they care about is how much does this cost and how much does it compare to what solutions we may have today. You can see how creating a simple matrix like this is going to keep your ad honest and make sure your messaging is super targeted towards the right people. The ad you make for the marketing executive is probably going to lead with the quality of data and how easy this tool is to use. But then if you want to make another ad for the head of marketing, you're going to be focused so much more on the quality of data versus the cost of the tool. It's that real sort of quality versus cost messaging. You also need to make sure you're using multiple touch points. On average, it takes somebody 8 different touch points before they make a purchasing decision. I mean, if you think about it, how often have you seen such a cool piece of software or a cool product advertised on Facebook? I bet you the first time you saw that ad, you didn't make a decision. But you probably came back a few days later and saw another version of that ad. You might have gone onto another social platform and seen that product promoted as well. After having that multi-touch point approach, that product is staying in your mind. You've maybe done some research already, and now a few ads down the line, you're ready to take that decision. So keep that in mind with your ads. Don't just create one ad for your target audience and hope that they're going to click on that and ultimately sign up or perform whatever other actions you want them to do. Think about a multi-touchpoint approach. A really simple way you can do this is create a video, promote that on LinkedIn, then create some single image ads that are targeted towards people that have watched at least 10 seconds of that video. You can then even take this one step further and create remarketing ads. Once people have clicked through from those single image ads to a landing page, maybe they've not made the decision yet to sign up to your service. They've left the website. But that doesn't mean you can give up there. Use remarketing to bring those people back to that landing page. Now, all of a sudden, just on LinkedIn, we've made a multi-touch point approach. You've got your video, then you've got some single image ads or some carousels, if you like, that are targeted towards people that have consumed that video content. And then there's also remarketing ads for people that have visited that landing page but maybe not made a decision yet. And that's all before we've even considered other social channels or other digital marketing tactics that we can bring into this. All of a sudden, by creating a multi-touch point approach, your brand is going to stay in the mind of that target audience. Therefore, they're going to be far more likely to click having seen all of this different content than just one simple ad. So finally, this is the one I spoke about at the beginning of the video. It's the thing that I really wish I knew when I first started out on LinkedIn. It's so simple, yet so effective. And that is to target decision makers. If you really want your ad to have an impact beyond just clicks, you need to think about who is involved in that decision. Going back to that social media software example, it's all well and good just promoting to the marketing executive, but the marketing executive isn't going to make that final decision. Yeah, they can go to their boss and talk about it, but they themselves cannot sign an agreement with you to sign up for this software. When I was working as a marketing manager with no decision-making power, I can't tell you the number of times I saw ads for great pieces of software that would have been really useful, but I didn't go to the owner of the company and pitch those services. I had limited FaceTime with him. I had half an hour a month with that man. So in that time, things like signing up to a new software often just slipped to the side. But what if those companies were also targeting people that they knew could make decisions? For example, if you're promoting a marketing agency, don't just target people that work in marketing or marketing executives. Target founders of small businesses in the area that you serve and use the other tactics that I've shared here with you today to really drive an integrated multi-touch point marketing strategy that's again targeted towards decision makers that can actually make that ultimate final decision to sign up with you. With this approach, you will have higher engagement on your ads, but most importantly, higher return on investment. What would you rather have? 1,000 clicks on your ads from marketing executives, but then nobody signs up to the service you're promoting? Or would you rather have 10 clicks from founders of small businesses that all decide to sign up with you? So don't just get distracted thinking it's all about driving the volume of clicks. It's the quality of clicks that then go on to convert. And once you've done all of these things, you need to make sure you're not limiting the success of your ads by not setting them up correctly. This video here is going to make sure you stay well clear of that.